It is one of the saddest things I've found talking to former prisoners of horrible prisons or death camps, that one likes to believe in a happy ending, but in actual fact, release often brings no euphoria, but a continuation of another form of imprisonment.
No, there was no freedom. You know, as every day went by, I realized that I was still a prisoner because my past was just simply not recognized. And I was not allowed to talk about it.
So it was the writing of this book that you feel finally unlocked the prison door, or is it even unlocked yet?
It is unlocked, it is. I'm back to the person I used to be 25 years ago. I have found myself, I have myself back. I was the perfect witness of a horrific thing that happened to thousands of young people in the young generation in Iran. And I'd always wondered, why did I survive? There had to be a reason, because if I couldn't find a reason for why I had survived when other people had died, then nothing would make sense. So I had to make sense of it. And by writing this book, I made sense of it.
Well, Marina Nemat, it's a powerful book, Prisoner of Tehran, powerful and very, very important for our times. Thanks very much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Now, after Marina Nemat's release from prison, she married her boyfriend, Andre, who had waited for her. They immigrated to Canada and settled outside of Toronto, where they raised 2 sons. Marina never told her family what had happened to her until she wrote her story. The manuscript was immediately picked up by publishers. A curious coincidence. The CBC producer who worked on the story is Bahman Kelbasi. He's Iranian and was also arrested for his student activism and sent to an Iranian political prison 6 years ago. He joins me now. Bahman, you were in one of those horrifying prisons. How representative was the story of Marina?
I think it was very representative. She does a brilliant job in describing the inner world of this horrific experience. And I remember vividly the terror and apprehension in the eyes of my parents when I was being taken to jail. And I was in complete shock, detached from any sense of fear, just like her. And I thought that represents very well how many of us, and especially in the age of 20 or teenage years, go through that. She also is very unique in the sense that she paints a gray picture of this horrific experience. She shows us the humanity of the tragedy, which is very rare.
Quite remarkable the way she managed to see that human gem in people. But now the system still exists and terrors go on in these prisons, but has it changed at all? Is international pressure making any difference?
International pressure and a lot of other elements, including that this regime is not nearly as ideological. It is less a lot more pragmatic than 20 years ago. Her generation was a victim of enormous transition in power, and the need of this new novice rulers to establish themselves. 20 years later, there's a struggle within the power, there's international pressure, and torture goes on, but you don't see the mass killings anymore. You do not see those extreme violence, but the torture goes on, the white torture as they call it, and they're more selective about the political prisoners that they pick up.
Well, let's hope the pressure works. Bahman Kelbasi, very interesting. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
When we come back, being a reporter in Gaza just got a lot more dangerous. The case of the BBC's Ellen Johnston.